Medical frontliners may start getting their COVID-19 booster shots starting tomorrow. 3 vaccine brands have been approved for the rollout. Face shields are no longer required in areas under alert levels 1 to 3. LGUs are now being asked to come up with a game plan on proper disposal. In politics, administration bet Senator Bongo says he wants Davao City Mayor Sara as his running mate. And in COVID news, daily infections have fallen below 1,000, according to the latest tally by the Health Department. Focused and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. Health workers around the country will be receiving their booster shots starting tomorrow. The FDA says they may choose from 3 different vaccine brands for the additional jab. Greg Gregorio with the rest of the details.
Putting on a full PPE gear has become a usual routine for emergency nurse Jen before going to duty. Jen said that this is part of precautionary measures before going inside the ward. In addition to this, they also undergo regular swab tests. Last March, Jen got infected with COVID-19. He then got vaccinated with Sinovac a month after his recovery. Now that it's already past 6 months after getting his second dose, Jen is relieved that health workers can receive their booster shots starting tomorrow.
Kasi mabibigyan kami lalo ng mas malaking proteksyon ngayon.
The Health Department says 3 brands, Pfizer, Moderna, and Sinovac, are available for healthcare workers as booster shots starting tomorrow. This is based on the amended emergency use authorization of the vaccines given by the Food and Drug Administration.
Yung mga nakatanggap ng Sinovac, maaari siyang makatanggap ng Sinovac, Pfizer at saka Moderna. Kung iba naman ang natanggap mo, pwede kang Pfizer or Moderna yung additional dose mo.
Pfizer, Moderna, and Sinovac doses are also included in the Vaccine Expert Panel's recommendation for the booster rollout. Citing data from studies abroad, panel member Dr. Ron-Jean Solantes said that mRNA vaccines such as Pfizer and Moderna are the best booster shots for any vaccine brand.
There are data to say that it really has a very good immunogenicity, so the antibody protection is really very high.
Sinovac can still be administered as it is faster in boosting the immunity of those who already received the China-made jabs.
And also give you a better boost, faster, which is 7 days, and protection can be attained in that order of the period after getting the dose or the 3rd dose or the booster dose.
Dr. Solante notes that once health workers receive their booster shots, fewer personnel are likely to be infected despite being continuously exposed to the virus. However, the National Vaccine Operations Center has yet to release the guidelines for the rollout of booster shots for healthcare workers. The DOH earlier said that the guidelines will be announced today. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
The Health Department reported under 850 new COVID-19 cases today. This is the lowest tally since December of last year. It also brings the country's active case count to over 25,000, with the total caseload still at 2.8 million. Nearly 100 more patients died due to the respiratory disease, pushing the death toll to above 45,800. Meanwhile, recoveries are now at 2.7 million, with almost 2,400 new survivors logged in the last 24 hours. More than 3% of some 28,000 individuals who recently tested for COVID-19 returned positive results. The DOH noted that at least 6 laboratories were not able to submit data. The Light Rail Manila Corporation is looking to implement a QR-based ticketing system for passengers. In an interview with One Balita Pilipinas, the company said they are currently ironing out implementation procedures for the QR system in LRT trains. Single journey tickets will still be sold in terminals, while the QR tickets can be purchased through mobile apps.
once na we have been given the go signal, kaya na namin siyang ma-implement as early as Q1 of 2022. So ngayon po, meron kami naka-install na terminals, QR acceptance terminals sa Central Station and Carriedo as part of the demo phase.
Here are other election-related stories we're watching today. Presidential bet Senator Bongo wants Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte as his running mate. The former presidential assistant said Mayor Sara is the obvious choice to partner with. Meanwhile, the camp of former Senator Bongbong Marcos is looking to include President Duterte in their senatorial lineup. This is despite Duterte's recent claims that Bongbong Marcos is allegedly pro-communist. The president has said that he will not support Marcos's presidential bid. And with face shields no longer needed in some areas, authorities are now looking for ways to properly dispose of the plastic item. Shaila Francisco with the report.
Areas under alert levels 1 to 3 can now say goodbye to face shields. This is after the government decided to make its use voluntary. LGUs under alert level 4 will have discretion on whether to carry the policy or not. But in places under alert level 5, as well as in quarantine and medical facilities, face shields will still be mandatory. This is good news to some, especially to those who are finding it hard to make ends meet amid the pandemic.
Siyempre, kasi ako, may anak ako. Pambili ko na ng diaper, minsan binibili ko pa ng face shield. Kaya kung siyempre, mabigat din siya minsan.
Retailers, of course, are not pleased with the news.
Malulugi kami. Pero wala naman tayo magagawa dyan dahil utos ng Pangulo yan eh. Kaya sumusunod na lang tayo. Mga gusto na lang bumili, yun na lang po yung makukuha namin.
With the face shield requirement gone in several areas, some environment groups are appealing to the public to be mindful of how they dispose their used face shields. This barangay found a way to dispose theirs through recycling. To lessen trash use of face shields, of residents here in Barangay Holy Spirit are shredded using this machine. After the process, it ends up like this. After which, these are mixed with cement to produce something like this brick. Used face shields are sanitized first before being recycled. Unused face shields, meanwhile, are turned into decorations like paroles and even torotos for the new year.
Natuturuan mo pa silang gumawa ng ibang produkto, gawa nga sa basura. Kung maging libangan mo yan, magiging pera pa.
The Environment Department is now coordinating with co-processing plants for waste-to-energy projects using face shields.
I-advocate namin yung paggamit ng co-processing. So ito yung gagawin nilang parang alternative sa mga fuel at yung gagamitin na yung mga plastic.
Some groups, however, are against this process, since it makes use of incineration, which is harmful to the environment. But the DNR assured that only firms complying with the air quality standard will be allowed to co-process face shields. The agency also noted that there are various technologies that do not use incineration. For now, the DNR will provide LGUs with accredited haulers and companies to assist in the disposal of face shields. They will also release a step-by-step procedure on the proper disposal of face shields and other medical waste. Shaila Francisco, VR1 News.
In the UK, Prime Minister Boris Johnson has threatened to trigger a Brexit measure covering trade between Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Experts say this could lead to an all-out trade war. More details in this Bloomberg report.
Britain and the EU are once again arguing about Brexit and the vexed question of the future of Northern Ireland. If the two sides can't reach a compromise in this latest dispute, it could end in a trade war. What's the problem? The problem centres around the so-called Northern Ireland Protocol. This is the part of the Brexit deal which tried to avoid the creation of a hard border on the island of Ireland after Brexit. Because remember, Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom and the Republic of Ireland is in the EU. So after years of negotiation, it was agreed as a compromise that the new border should go effectively down the Irish Sea. That meant that Northern Ireland would remain in the EU single market for goods, therefore removing the need for a border between Northern Ireland and the Republic. But it did mean that goods moving from the rest of the UK into Northern Ireland would face customs checks and processes to ensure they complied with EU rules. Why is Britain unhappy with the protocol? Britain says that the protocol is disrupting trade between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK, and that the burden of paperwork and customs checks is meaning that trade is now flowing at an increased rate between Northern Ireland and the Republic. Now, Britain says that because of this, it is justified in unilaterally suspending parts of the protocol under the so-called Article 16 mechanism. What is Article 16 of the protocol? Article 16 is a safeguard mechanism within the protocol that allows either side to take unilateral measures to prevent serious economic or societal difficulties created by the protocol, or indeed to address diversion of trade. Now, the UK argues diversion of trade has happened, and therefore it would be justified in invoking Article 16. For example, the UK could decide to suspend the customs checks and processes on goods crossing the Irish Sea. How would the EU react? The UK activating Article 16 would be seen by many in the EU as a major breach of trust and a going back on that hard-won, hard-fought, negotiated compromise of the protocol. It would essentially put the EU in the position of facing a major gap in its single market, because there would be no customs checks on goods coming from the UK into the EU via Northern Ireland, and it would raise the prospect of them having to construct some kind of border between Northern Ireland and the Republic. Now, given how much of a problem this would be for the EU could go so far as terminating the entire post-Brexit trade deal as a sign of how unhappy it is with that UK course of action.
In the NBA, the Chicago Bulls blew out the Los Angeles Lakers 121-103. DeMar DeRozan dazzled again with a season-high 38 points on an efficient 15 of 23 shooting. This was Chicago's first win against the Lakers since 2016, snapping an 8-game skid. The win is the Bulls' 10th in 14 games, while the Lakers dropped to 8-7. Always a fan of the NBA? Celebrate the 75th NBA season and watch games daily on NBA TV Philippines on Signal, every Saturday and Sunday on TV5, and every Friday and Monday on One Sports. Show your love for the game and be #alwaysafan. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.